Yeah, can I get a coffee with cream and sugar?
Captain Beamon with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. I'm drinking my black coffee this morning, and let's talk about motorcycle safety.
So talk about May and what the month of May means to you guys, and kind of in the patrol, what we do for motorcycle safety awareness month.
Well, motorcycle awareness, it's really about awareness. May is a good time because spring, people are riding again. They haven't been riding all winter, and so now we're flooded with bikes on the road. It's not only important for motorcycles to understand what safety concerns they need to address, but also vehicles on the road, because you get used to checking your mirror, and you're looking for two headlights and you might not see it, and so you need to take that extra step to really look and understand that you're sharing the road with bikes. So that's something that we need, not only motorcycles to focus on the awareness part of motorcycle safety, but everybody in the public as well.
So I've heard people say before, if they're not super familiar with bikes, like, well, why should I care about them? First of all, I'm bigger than them. They're, second of all, they need to be watching out for me.
Sure.
Why should the average driver care about them?
Well, I think you don't know the skill level of the rider that you're around. So, a lot of times you'll have a new rider that's unsure of themselves. Maybe they come to an intersection, they don't know what to do. They're passing when they shouldn't be passing. They don't know what to do when they meet, debris in the road that, sometimes debris in the road is not a big deal to a car, but to a bike, it's a huge deal. So if you're too close to that car or to that bike, you can, create a potentially deadly situation for a bike. So it's important that they understand that not everybody's a great rider. Some people will be new, understand the capabilities of a bike. They'll stop faster than a car. They're smaller. They can get in and out of places, which cars have to be okay with and understand that good riders are probably trying to stay in windows, so don't be offended if they try to go past you and they don't want to sit in your blind spot. We want bikes to be as safe as we can, so that's kind of what I would like for most everybody to take into account.
Yeah, and like I said, nobody wants to be the cause of a crash,
right.
A deadly crash.
Right.
So what are some of the common concerns you've seen regarding motorcyclists in Oklahoma? Is it experience? Is that one of the big
Experience is absolutely, I think, the big thing. I think there are some highway safety statistics to back that up. Several of the crashes involve people without endorsements at all. So training, we're having people ride that don't train. They don't go through the proper steps to get a motorcycle endorsement. They think, oh, I've ridden dirt bikes, I know how to do this, and they can just go out there and ride, but that's not the case. So that's one thing. One thing that I bring up is social media. We see a lot of videos on YouTube, and you can just Google it, motorcycles, driving 130, however fast, and just passing cars, weaving in and out of traffic, doing unsafe maneuvers that really put the public in danger. And I think that people need to realize those people, typically maybe they've trained and maybe they're doing it on a closed course. That's not normal riding. So if you try to go out there and you try to ride like that, then you're going to run into a situation that you're uncomfortable with. It's unsafe, so you're going to put the public in danger and yourself in danger if you're not competent enough to ride like that. So that's one big thing that for me personally that I see a lot, because I watch those videos too, and they are just getting lucky. It's not skill. They are getting lucky when they ride like that. So we don't want people riding like that.
It's cool until it's not cool.
Right. And motorcycles are unforgiving. It's 1 second, is you make one mistake, there's something in the road, a gouge in the road, if you're leaned over, there's a lot of factors that go into bikes that don't necessarily affect cars. So that's a different thing. And plus, again, like I'm saying, they're getting lucky because you don't know what type of road surface they have. Yours may be different. those type of things you need to take into account and not just go out and ride like they do on YouTube.
Don't take that as your example.
Right.
And I guess like something little like a pothole, again, is not a big deal to a car. Probably a big deal to a motorcycle. And it's a bigger deal if they're going
Absolutely.
100 miles an hour.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, it's unforgiving. You know, you can bend rims. It can cause you to lose control, front end wobbles. There's all kinds of things that happen to a motorcycle when you have an input into that bike that's not normal. So people need to be aware of that. Give bikes more room. Don't ride like that. You know, we really want people to be safe and enjoy motorcycling.
Let's talk about endorsements for a little bit for somebody who doesn't know much about motorcycles.
Right.
You can't go out and ride a motorcycle on the street without an endorsement?
No, you have to have a motorcycle endorsement. So you can get a motorcycle endorsement at 14 up to a 300cc bike. You have to pass a driving test, and then you have to pass a motorcycle test. You also have to take an MSF course or some sort of training, or I believe you still do want the test in front of an examiner. So people can get one early, but a 16-year-old still has to have a driver's license. They still have to go through the proper steps, and then you specifically have to go through your motorcycle process. So you take a motorcycle test, a written test, and then a driving test, or take an MSF certified course to get that license.
Adult too? Like what if it's
100%.
has their license and they want
Nope, adult, everybody, from the time that you can drive, everybody is required to take those steps. So.
Okay. So let's talk about some important things that drivers need to consider when sharing the road with a motorcyclist. What should somebody like who doesn't know much about motorcycles, like I'm reading here, motorcycles stop faster than cars.
Right. Braking is different a bike because it's less weight. So you have all wheels have some sort of brake pressure. Most newer bikes have analog brakes. Older bikes are something to consider because maybe they don't, which you can create lockup and skids, and you don't know what type of bike you're following. So they can stop faster. They need to have room to maneuver. A bike also looks different, to drivers, and because they won't know, what they're doing. If a bike has to stay in a window, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, we want motorcycles to have outs. So a bike may be riding a little bit quicker than you or a little bit slower than you and not passing you specifically so they can keep themselves safe. So it just depends on the rider too. But we definitely want people to be aware that there may be some sudden changes of a bike, and also they may see a hazard such as debris on the road that you don't think is a big deal, but it could be catastrophic for them. So
don't tailgate them. Don't be right.
Right. Do not tailgate them. Give them plenty of space, just so they can make a decision and a quick maneuver if they need to take some sort of evasive action.
What has your experience been in responding to crashes involving motorcyclists? It seems like it's probably, if you don't have that metal cage around you, it's going to be magnified.
It's definitely magnified, and I will say riders that are not wearing the proper safety equipment, like we see those accidents tend to be a lot more serious than accidents that someone's geared up properly. So I highly encourage everybody, please wear a helmet. It is not the law in Oklahoma if you're over 18. However, it saves lives. And there's all the stats prove that. You can turn a really basic 20-mile-an-hour crash. I will give you an example. In 2020, I was hit at an intersection, same direction, a car struck me, and I went down. It was a minor crash, probably under 15 miles an hour, and I got up, bike went flying, and I got up and looked around, and I was fine, walked away, but I looked at my helmet afterwards, and there's a huge gash in it, and it's missing lots of a part of the helmet. So my head would have struck the concrete. Had I not worn a helmet, that could have been catastrophic. So that's one thing that I think people need to understand is you can protect yourself, especially if you're an inexperienced rider. You need to take all the precautions that you can take to really ensure that you enjoy motorcycling and you're doing it safely.
That gash would have been in your head.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would have been bad. So yeah.
You wear a helmet.
I do.
You still look cool riding your bike.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's people that, well, I don't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, just think about it. You know, we talk about dressing for the slide, not the ride. So we want to make sure that people are safe, because it's kind of a matter of when, you know, that you go down or you have a situation that you're going to need that safety equipment. And if you're wearing it, you'll be glad you were. And if you're not, you'll wear it the next time. So.